Welcome to 101 Costa del Sol News, where we will discover the main topics of the week in Benalmádena. Last Tuesday, the City Council celebrated January's plenary session, and the municipal budgets were approved. Finance Councilman José Miguel Muriel requested the support of the opposition, but only the government team voted in favor. Today I am here as the spokesman for the budget, but what we bring here is the compilation of requests and demands for neighbors and associations, groups and delegations of this City Council for initial approval. It will be the roadmap not only for the year 2024, but for the entire legislature for the next 4 years. It should be noted that these are very ambitious budgets with consolidated income and expenditure amounting to 147,796,853 euros, of which we must highlight 16.5 million euros in own investments. That is to say that these 16.5 million euros are going to be paid exclusively with municipal capital investments. And now I'm going to detail and describe the most relevant investment that the Benalmádena City Council wants to undertake this year and next. For this current year, the City Council of Benalmádena is going to take 900,000 euros practically for investment in beaches. All beaches will be improved, both in walkways, showers, etc. 900,000 for all beaches of Benalmádena. Also, the remodeling of the Doña Gloria Senior Center for Benalmádena Costa with 1,368,000 euros. Also, the remodeling of Avenida El Gamonal, almost 2.5 million euros, and the initiation of the Albaitar Park and its phase 1 with 1,700,000 euros. You only have to look at the budget to know that if this budget reflects your city project, it is a great swindle. It is a swindle to the collectives, to the citizens, a swindle to the whole of this plenary session. It is socialist policy. We are going to drown the citizens and we are going to turn them around and with them until there is not a single euro left in their pockets, which is what Sánchez is doing in the government of Spain. Exactly what you propose to do here. Congratulations, Blue Socialist Party. Congratulations, you have achieved it. And for what? Why are you going to increase the income by such an amount? What are the problems that the town hall has? What are the problems that the municipality have? What does the town hall have to solve? This has been a way of trying to please all the requests of the citizenship. And I understand that when you are a mayor, one likes to please the citizens and wants, as far as possible, to try to fulfill all their expectations. But it is also about being responsible. As Mr. Centella said, we cannot swindle, we cannot cheat the citizens. And in this budget, there is a lot of swindling in fundraising. You have already seen that the occupation of public roads was not being charged in certain aspects and in certain companies and individuals, which is an increase in the collection, but not due to a tax increase. You must be clear about that. Did you know that almost every year around 2 million euros are being lost due to the lack of collection? Did you know that? Well, I believe that we will have to work to be much more efficient. The mayor of Benalmádena, Juan Antonio Lara, and Tourism Councilwoman Precia Aguilera offered a press conference this week where they spoke about the controversy around the amusement park Tivoli World, expressing their desire to see the park reopen its doors and showing support to help finding possible buyers for the space. We are working in parallel in what will be the future, surely in this legislature, the reopening of the amusement park Tivoli, and I'm convinced that we will achieve it. A Tivoli amusement park in which it is true that I go out of my way every day so that in the end it reopens its door, updates its attractions, and becomes once again that relevant reference within our Costa del Sol. This government team is also working, and as I have always said, that is, even if we are not seen publicly, that is work we are doing every day, not only to reach an agreement to open the new parking spaces, as I said earlier, but also to make a reality the reopening of our flagship amusement park Tivoli. So I want to tell our neighbors that we are still here, we are still working. We continue to contribute to our society, and above all, that you can have the absolute and sufficient tranquility that this government team and me as a mayor are gradually covering all the demands that in the last election was transmitted by the neighbors of our municipality. As for Tivoli, we are working from the beginning and we will continue to do so, always with respect, as it is a private company. But the City Council of Benalmádena and both the tourism delegation and our mayor, we will continue to work to be an intermediary between the property and those investors who can acquire it, and finally get this park to reopen its doors. It is something that is a priority for us, for tourism and for all the residents of Benalmádena and all those who want to come and visit us. We have insisted on the priority of tourism, to focus on a family-friendly tourism, and Tivoli is a symbol for all families. It has been for those of us who have been there as children, and we hope it will continue to be in the near future. And we keep talking about Tivoli, though now sadly we bring bad news for the park staff. The High Court of Justice has ratified the termination of employment of the workers. The decision affected 80 of them, who, if they do not appeal, will be eligible for unemployment aid and have a compensation from Fogasa.
The Social Chamber of the High Court of Justice of Andalusia has rejected the appeal of the Workers' Committee of Tivoli against the order of the Commercial Court No. 1 of Malaga, which upheld the decision of the insolvency administrator to request the collective termination of the employment contracts of the staff of the amusement park, which has been closed since September 2020, as published in La Opinión de Málaga, in a judgment to which newspaper had access. The Andalusian High Court holds that there is no place for the subrogation of the workers by the Tremont Group, since in the company of the businessman Rafael Sánchez Gómez alias Sandokan, who had bought the amusement parks from its founder, the Danish Olsen family, subsequently sold it to Tremont, but never made effective the delivery of the facilities. As quoted by La Opinión de Málaga, the court explains that when in September 2021 the Supreme Court ruled in a final judgment that the ownership of Tivoli corresponded to the Tremont Group, the amusement park was not only closed and lacked any economic activity, but the temporary employment regulation file had already been initiated, so it cannot be considered that there is an association of companies and therefore the right to the subrogation of the workers.
Benalmádena keeps working to resolve the lack of parking space that the municipality suffers, a classic problem that may have a solution soon. The government team has announced the creation of new parking spaces in Pueblo Sol and in Los Nadales in order to promote local commerce.
En el día de ayer se aprobaron lo que son los presupuestos municipales inicialmente.
Yesterday, the municipal budget was initially approved, a budget where our commitment to society is reflected, one of them being the much-needed parking in our town. I always say that the City Council of Benalmádena, that this government team invests in parking and opening new spaces, is the best subsidy that we can give to the economy, business, entrepreneurs in the area, regardless of whether we have that help. That indeed, we also have it in the budget initially approved yesterday for this year 2024. We've reached out to sit down with the opposition before taking these budgets to approval, and there have been two groups which didn't want to sit down with us, which were PSOE and Izquierda Unida. However, Vox did sit down with us. A meeting in which we gave them all the explanations that are to be given and answered everything they asked us. We told them everything and tried to resolve the situation, but still they all have voted against it. They have voted against opening the much-needed Pueblo Sol parking lot in the current Adolfo Suárez Square, a parking lot needed for the core of Arroyo de la Miel to again encourage commercial activity. I work there a lot, and it is true that on Saturdays afternoons Arroyo is no longer what it used to be, yet we are very clear that the opening of this parking space of about 700 parking spaces will mean a before and after in the trade of our Arroyo de la Miel and of course in Benalmádena town too. We are also going to get down to work to open those 85 parking spaces at the fairground Los Nadales, which was also a commitment of mine that I said when I was all these years in the opposition, and that surely before the summer or in summer will be a reality, as well as these parkings in the Plaza Adolfo Suárez, known as Plaza de Pueblo Sol. Not only will there be some new important spaces in Arroyo de la Miel, which will serve to revive all trade in the area, so needed at this time, like in the open shopping mall, and all those small and large businesses that are in Arroyo de la Miel and that will be reactivated and enhanced thanks to these new parking spaces. And the best way to avoid parking problems is using alternative mobility. We have the public transport, but for small routes, the best option is walking. Now the City Council is launching Metro Minute, an initiative that tracks different paths and routes to cover small trips around the municipality.
Since our arrival to the Benalmádena City Council, this government team has as one of its main goals to promote health. We are going to present today an initiative that is part of the local health plan and is an initiative aimed at the entire municipality, aimed at all audience, young and old, because the main objective is mobility on foot. For this purpose, this Metro Minute has been designed, which can be seen here as a subway map, and it has organized routes to move from one place to another as long as it's a route of less than 2 kilometers. There is a series of distance, a series of colors that are routes that all citizens usually make, to go shopping, to go home, to go to cultural events, to go to school. And these are distances that are very small, that are traveled in less time than with a car. What is happening today? Well, motorist mobility has colonized our cities and make us want to drive to school. If we could even put the car inside the school, and with this Metro Minute, what we want is to improve that mobility, improve people's health. As the councilwoman has said, we want everybody, the children and the elderly, so that in this way we can make a much healthier city. That is why it is part of this health plan, local health plan. And I invite everyone to see it. We will put it on the streets so that people can see it and can walk around. Let's see if together we can achieve that there are fewer cars and we can have a much healthier life walking around our city. With this, what we are trying to do is to encourage walking as a measure that not only favors individual health, but also collective health, because it improves air quality by reducing the number of cars that can circulate. With all those people who instead to choosing to go by car, choose to walk in the city. It benefits their health and also benefits the collective health and the environment. This action belongs to the second local health plan, which has 5 lines of work. One of them is the promotion of healthy lifestyle habits, which is line 1, and line 4, which is promotion of healthy urban planning. Benalmádena is part of the Healthy Cities network, and with this initiative we intend to make progress in achieving a healthier city.
Environment Councilman Juan Olea announced this week the creation of the first taller sustainable park thanks to the planting of 1,200 new trees, an initiative organized to reduce CO2 emissions and improve the green spaces in Benalmádena, with the City Council giving the absorption rights of the space to the company. We are here today making a reality this agreement that was signed with the City Council and that consists of replanting this area, a space that suffered a burning incident in 2019 and that today is rewarded with this planting of 1,200 native species in this plot of approximately 1.5 hectares, about 16,000 square meters. It was about time that this area gradually started taking that shape and that rhythm of planting, right? I would like to thank you once again for the effort you are making so that Benalmádena has this sustainable park. I believe that on the part of the company, Toller, this is the first project of many that will surely be distributed throughout the length and breadth of our peninsula. It is a pleasure that Benalmádena is that starting point, that point of reference in sustainable parks. Thales' relationship with the environment is in our DNA, in the management of gardening, forestry and environmental education. We work every day to reduce the negative impact that our activity can generate. The carbon footprint represents the total volume of greenhouse gases produced by the economic and daily activities of the human being and therefore also of the companies. In Toller, we are committed to the fight against climate change, measuring and reducing the carbon footprint for years. The compensation of part of this footprint is the natural step to close the circle. This CO2 absorption project, with which we are going to start offsetting our carbon footprint, is the first we will have in Spain, and we are going to do it here in Benalmádena, and thanks to the collaboration agreement with the City Council, which gives us the management of the absorption rights for 30 years of this hectare and a half. This land that was burning in 2019 now will be a forest, the Toller Forest of Benalmádena. Because there's really a firm commitment from all of us and from the company. This is part of the company's environmental strategy. In the last 3 years, we have managed to reduce our carbon footprint by 42%, and well, we are still working on it. With this particular project, one of the things we want to do is to obtain the Compensa seal and make it available to the City Council so that they can count on us for whatever they need. Given the serious drought situation we're experiencing, the government team continues to seek ways to save water, and recently they announced that they already have all the necessary permits to irrigate La Paloma Park with reclaimed water. Next week, our Parque de la Paloma will proceed to have irrigation with reclaimed water to maintain and emblem and such an important site for our city as this green space. We have to be very clear pointing out that this facility was already authorized by Junta de Andalucía in 2008, so that it could be irrigated with reclaimed water. But it is true that at that time we began that irrigation that was later subsequently closed. And given the situation of drug and water deficit in our city, in our region, and our autonomous community, this government team, in order to maintain one of the most important greenlands of our city, has decided to resume that project, and that authorization we already had since 2008. For this, we have had all the technical team of the City Council, so we reached a decision taking with all the hygienic and sanitary guarantees available so that everyone, all our neighbors and visitors, can be calm and safe to continue enjoying a spectacular area of our city as Parque de la Paloma. We have all the reports of our technicians favorable, and we have already given orders as it marks the manual of good practice for the use of reclaimed water from Aquasol that, as soon as possible, can be installed signage throughout the grounds of Parque de la Paloma to inform all residents and visitors that it is being watered, or will be watered rather, with reclaimed water. And now that we are in this situation of drought decreed by Junta, it is time to make decisions. This government team has taken them based on technical and analytical reports that are not only those that have already been done, but periodically we will be doing more, taking water from the pond so that we have all the guarantees in the world to use an emblematic leisure and recreational facilities such as Parque de la Paloma. The beaches area works tirelessly throughout the year to ensure that our main resources looks its best for neighbors and visitors. During the last 2 weeks, they have removed about 50 tons of Asian seaweed from our beaches.
The municipal delegation of beaches carried out work during recent weeks in different urban beaches, a task that has allowed the removal of approximately 50 tons of Asian algae. The works consisted on the removal by specialized machinery for this task, with emptying at the point stipulated for this purpose, and then the adequacy of the beach with a small sweeping of the sand. The work reached mainly the area of Santa Ana, Las Gaviotas and Playa Bonita, among others, filling 5.5 buckets in just 2 weeks. The beach's councilwoman and tourist, Precia Aguilera, has stressed the importance of this type of work that allows us to always keep one of our main tourist attractions for the enjoyment of residents and visitors.
To celebrate the 30th anniversary of the theatre show, a classic event in our town, the area of culture has prepared several workshops to promote the performing arts among young people in the municipality, as announced by the councilwoman Jessica Trujillo. On the occasion of the 30th anniversary of the Theatre Festival this year, the Culture Delegation has decided to make it more educational and more informative, so we have decided to organize 2 workshops. Today we come here to present the characterization workshop that will take place during the 3 Fridays in the month of February, to which I invite everyone between the ages of 12 and 18 years old to register by the mail cultura@benalmadena.es. During these 3 days, on the 9, 16 and 23 of February, what we are going to do is to play and have fun. And above all, the goal is that children and adolescents who come to the workshop feel like actors or feel like makeup directors. We are going to play all the roles. We are going to be creative. In other workshops, we are going to stick a little bit more to what the author puts in the text. So that's it. This is going to be 3 days of theater, learning how to do makeup and enjoying ourselves. It is one of the most important elements in this world, both in the world of theater and in the world of cinema, as in the world of television, to characterize yourself as a character, but also when you characterize yourself for a character, you have to know the soul of that character and who that character is. So we are going to invite you to get to know them through small dramatic tests that are going to give the character that soul, that body. Who am I? Why am I like this? This is usually given to us by the text, the dramatic text. Well, I hope that everyone between 12 and 18 years old is willing to sign up for this workshop and have a lot of fun, because I promise it's going to be a lot of fun. The Benalmádena Costa Exhibition Center has opened its doors to an unprecedented exhibition in the province. Ocean Collection by Manuel Fernández is a compilation of works that combine fashion, art and sustainability. The exhibition will be open to the public free of charge until March 31, organizing also different workshops around it.
La exposición que dará comienzo el día 25 de enero aquí en el Centro de Exposiciones a las 7.
We are here to present the exhibition that will begin on January 25th at the Exhibition Center, an exhibition that we can enjoy until March 31 and that is based on 3 fundamental axes, which are fashion, art and sustainability. I think it is very important at an educational, pedagogical, informative and explanatory level. It is very important to raise awareness in the world that we have about the importance of sustainability and what our planet suffers because of global warming, climate change, pollution, and how to become aware with significant things like this exhibition. What he does is designing a suit to be a 3-dimensional suit, and then he passes it on. He gives it to women at risk of social exclusion. Important to put the focus on this, because no one talks about it, and the social part is fantastic. Once these women have made the costumes, Manuel decides who will be or reaches an agreement with the plastic artist who can best intervene according to the leitmotif of the exhibition. I want to make a complete collection with costumes painted by any plastic artist. The concept came to me. I didn't think about what other designers had done before or anything. It was just like divine inspiration that came to me. And from that moment on, I started to work on it. It took me a lot to get it going because it was complicated, as I was already working with New York at the time. But it took me 5 years until I was able to convince Manolo Valdés, Oukalele, Hortelano, Gordillo. I have a series of super top artists in the exhibition, and I was convincing them step by step. The thing is that at the time, the one who was vital for fashion art was Manolo Valdés. Shortly before the pandemic, I decided to start doing exhibitions in Spain. And the truth is that, well, I'm delighted. I am very happy to be here, to be with this Ocean Collection exhibition, and especially because it was seen at the Climate Change Summit. To raise awareness among the youngest in taking care of the environment, we have developed this Saturday 27 a workshop that will take it directly to Manuel, a workshop directed for children between 6 and 14 years. This wonderful exhibition will be with us until March 31 and can be visited from Wednesday to Saturday from 9:30 to 1:30 and on Sundays and holidays from 10 until 2. Sports Councilman Alejandro Carretero has presented in the facilities of the sports centers of Arroyo de la Miel the details of a new edition of the municipal sports game, which provided a participation of more than 2,500 players. Competitions in soccer, basketball, volleyball, chess or skating, among other disciplines, will fill with activity the sports facilities of the municipality.
Una competición escolar donde
It is a school competition where we seek to develop the ability, equality, educational development. This year we have collective sports such as soccer or basketball and individual sports such as badminton and chess. What we encourage with this type of activities is about all the development in children for everything that has to do with them of growth at the level of education and companionship. The municipal sports game began last Saturday, January 27, and are held here in the Sports Center of Arroyo de la Miel and Benalmádena Pueblo Ramón Rico. Now next is going to chop in more detail our sports technician Paco Mena. We are looking for the participation of all the schools in Benalmádena, schools and institutes of Benalmádena, and also the sports schools that are part of the winter program of the sports department. At present, there are already registered in the competition. We can count approximately 2,500 players who will participate throughout the season of these sport games. We can highlight that in 7-a-side soccer there are 43 teams registered in the competition. In futsal there are 10 teams, in volleyball 9, basketball 11, and in the different sports there are missing field hockey, handball, and as they are catalogued by days, as the registrations are not yet open. We have to remember that the individual sports are going to be formatted in 2 days of concentration, where the first day will be an open concentration where any student of educational centers or schools can participate to learn the sport, for example chess, table tennis, skating, and in the second day there will be a day of competition where different results will be obtained. From the sports area, we want to invite other schools and those children who can participate in sports such as skating, badminton, chess, different sports. Do not hesitate to participate in this municipal sport game, which is already its 41st edition here in Benalmádena, and I think that all of us who are from here have gone through the municipal sport games.